Hi guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. So I have a subscriber suggested review and we're going to take a look at that today. And it is a review of Makulu Linux. So Makulu Linux is a distribution that is Debian based, and I heard of it years ago, I think when it first came out, or maybe short thereafter. And then when the subscriber suggested it to me, I was like, you know what, maybe I should take a look at it. And lo and behold, I did. And wow, has it come a long way. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's start with the web page. So here's the web page. And what is it? You can find it over at makululinux.com. And it is a whole world of possibilities, and it's really not lying when it says that. So Makulu Linux has 3 versions, as you can see up here at the top. It's got Gamer, Max, and Shift. Okay, now with Shift is what we're looking at today. I don't know why I just reloaded the page, but hey, whatever. Anyhow, so with Shift, we're looking at what makes Shift so interesting is it's a multi-desktop distro that fully transforms between different layouts. So we have lots of different Linux distributions out there that come where you can choose different layouts and different, styles or whatever you want. Some that emulate Windows, some that emulate Unity, some that emulate Mac, all that good stuff, right? And you can actually switch in between them through different preferences. What makes this one absolutely different is that it actually completely redoes the entire desktop configuration that you do through sets of different scripts that it runs in the backgrounds. So basically, when you select a new layout, it will delete the entire layout and reinstall the new layout that your suggestion, whether it goes and downloads it from somewhere, I'm not sure, or whether it's stored on your local drive. More than likely, I think, is that's where it's at, and it'll reinstall it right there. So it enables you to switch completely just like that between desktops and desktop environments and layouts. So that is one of the things that it did. Now, also what it does is the game edition actually, when we look at it, that's the Shift edition. Now, the Gamer edition, the Makulu Gamer ISO comes with the following gaming platforms already installed and configured. Users can simply fire them up, log in, and play Steam with Proton already enabled, Lutris, Itch, and Heroic game launchers with Epic Games and GOG support, GeForce Now, RetroArch, DocsBox, GameHub, Mini Galaxy, which is a GOG client, Wine, which is the Play on Linux derivative of it. These platforms are all installed with their native clients and configured and optimized for pure speed. The Wine crossover Play on Linux is pre-installed and configured, and you can now simply double-click on an exe file and it'll run it. Beauty, the Makulu Gamer R comes with 110 gaming wallpapers, all designed to fit and complement the aesthetically stunning looking desktop environment. You have the Milky Makulu icon sets, 14 themes and 2 dark themes, as well as 20 cursors that allow you to set up a beautiful desktop environment. It's also a customizable desktop because it uses Makulu Gamer R borrows some of the elements from the Gamer R distros in terms of being able to change your desktop layout with like the Shift layout. So that's why it's under thing is Gamer/Shift. The software center in Makulu Gamer fully supports both FlatHub and Snaps, which is the same in Shift as well. And they have driver supports for a huge selection of pre-installed drivers for GPUs and USB devices and printers as well. And they have, of course, have the extension supports enabled in both the Gamer and the actual Shift support. Now, Max, if you look at Max, we have to wait for this server to load. Okay, see, Max is actually still in beta 1 or 2. Beta will be rolled out as beta 1 and then followed by second beta. So the release date is still unknown. So it's still not working or, out there, officially dropped, but they're making the announcement for it. And I do believe if you email the devs, and I actually think that the subscriber that actually suggested this to me actually has connects with the developers and can give me the nightly build. And I think he sent it to me, so I'm going to load that up and I'm going to give that a try. But anyhow, we'll do a review on that a little bit later on. I just wanted to get the the ones that you guys can use right now out there, because this is actually pretty cool. So anyhow, that is basically it. If you go to the download section, now of course that's where you can download it. They're asking to be funded through either donating directly to them, or you can go to their Patreon page right here. So I definitely ask that you support them, because there's a lot of work that was put into this. Now, for the download links, they have the SoundForge link, they have a Google Mirror link, Mega Driver, and OneDrive Mirror. For the gamer download, you can go to these download links, which is the SoundForge Mirror, the Google Mirror, and also the Mega Mirror and the OneDrive Mirror, the same places. It's hosted as well. And so, yeah, go there, pick whichever version you'd like, and download them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and actually get off their webpage and actually take a look at this. What you're greeted with is this desktop right here. This is the Shift desktop. Now, it's right now, as you can see down at the, you got your icons on the desktop, right? Which has the tutorials, the trash, the network connections, or like your network places, I believe, like in Windows. Yeah. Where you can go to like your Samba drive and what's on his PC. And then you have, of course, your home folder, which I believe they're using. This does not look like Gnome files, but more like maybe, yep, Nemo. It's Nemo that they use. So there's that. If you look on tutorials, this is what's really nice about them. So everybody knows Arco Linux and Eric Dubois. And what's nice about Eric Dubois and Arco Linux is that his support is for his distribution that he's created is bar none the best. He has tutorials on how to do any and everything you want with that. Well, Makulu Linux has kind of taken a page out of his book, and they have created videos over on YouTube for different things that you can do, and you find them right here through the tutorials page. Extensions guide, troubleshooting, Steam setup, Wine setup, compiling an ISO, and such and so forth. In the beginning, changing layouts, changing themes, changing wallpapers, all that good stuff. So if you are giving this a try, you've never used it before, you have that information right there on how to customize it. However, I will tell you that this desktop manager right here is exactly where you can go to customize a lot of stuff. And that's in other places. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So there's those icons on the desktop, and then you have this wonderful conky right here, which of course this conky is given to give you whatever it is that you're using for your system resources, as well as any news headlines for their distributions that they push through, and then interesting quotes of the day, which is kind of always nice to have that. Now, as far as the panel at the bottom, you have your app launcher over here, very similar to a KDE panel, but because of the extensions that are involved, I think it's Gnome panel, as well as or possibly heavily modified XFCE. Let's see if they have NeoFetch installed. And they do. And so you are doing Makulu Linux Shift with the 5.15 kernel in it. So it's an LTS kernel. It's based off of Ubuntu as well, or Debian. And then you have for the resolution 1920 by 1080. For the, and it doesn't tell you what desktop you're running, so it's there. It doesn't tell you which Makulu desktop we're running, but we can find that out very easily. So anyhow, then you have your pinned icons, which is your software updater, the software store, which is going to be more like the probably Gnome Software Center, and it's of course being populated because, like I said, this is the first launch of it. Of course, when you launch this, it uses the Calamari's installer and a welcome window that opens up that allows you to set up, like do the software updates, install any drivers. So if you're running NVIDIA, it has support for all that. And of course, other things that you can do to set up Makulu as well, such as, settings and switch into dark modes, that kind of stuff, global stuff. Also, the theme launcher opens up, the desktop manager opens up to launch the theme, and this is always taking forever. So we're going to go ahead and minimize this for a little bit and let it do its thing. The terminal that it has is a awesome terminal. I want to say it's Gnome terminal. Let's see, it is Gnome terminal. So I love the transparency that they've given. I mean, they've paid attention to detail on a lot of things. It does come with Google Chrome loaded out of the box, and of course, I launched this because I like dark, so I themed it to a really quick dark theme, but it came blindingly white like Google Chrome always comes. But my only thing that I would suggest to them that so far the knock that I found is to maybe instead of using Google Chrome, why don't they use like Brave? Install Brave, another Chromium-based but more secure browser in the background that isn't so Googled. And then you have right here is for your desktop, where you can rotate your desktop, and also your desktop manager. You can open up again many places to get to the different themes, which is cool. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And then what I like is this extension manager thing they put in the panel, where you can adjust every single extension. And as you can see, the ones that have these little buttons next to it that's got Arc menu installed, that's the menu that you were looking at. That's kind of like the KDE for Gnome instead of the activity menu. Then you have like your better volume indicator, you dash to panel. I mean, these are all extensions that are enabled. If you want to enable any of these, all you gotta do is click on it and it should enable it. Like, let's go to the CPU governor. See, it is now enabled. It has a dot next to it. So, I mean, it's pretty cool how you can turn them on and off. These extensions enabled. So this is definitely the GNOME 43 with all these extensions installed already out of the box. You don't got to hunt them down. So that's cool. Then, of course, it's got your little applet indicators for what's going on, such as like your high contrast, zoom, large text, all these universal access and ease of, making it easier for you to see things. Of course, then you have you can actually switch between keyboard layouts and formats, and you have your date and time, and then you have your actual, and also your notifications. Then you have your actual internet connection type, whether it be Wi-Fi or Ethernet. And of course, you got your volume indicator, which is actually a squash panel, which shows your Ethernet kind connection, as well as your power session settings and stuff like that. And of course, you got your power sessions icon, which you can power off and log out. So that being said, the navigation on this is very, very, very nicely set up. It's customized GNOME 43 for sure, with the Arc menu installed. Now, I'm telling you, this is pretty cool. What I like about it too is, like, you for your all programs, it's so easy to get to. They've got Bleach It, they've got all these things that are already installed. It's not categorized, whereas KDE would be categorized, so you just kind of have to scroll through to find what you want. But then it is categorized here. I mean, on all programs, it's not alphabetized, but it is categorized underneath. So, like for accessories, you have extensions, of course. You got the Catfish file search. You got files. You got LeafPad, which is their simple text editor. They've got the menu editor, which I think if you click on that, it opens up, and yes, you can customize, add things. You can do web apps as well if you want to add them. So they've got that enabled. And of course, I got the System D and the Flat Pack and the Flat Hub or System Snap D installed. So then they got Play on Linux. They got the text info. They got variety wallpaper. They got Warpinator. They have weather. They have Wine Tricks and Xarchiver installed underneath there. And then they got calculator. They have GNOME disks. I'm quite sure of. Yep, just by the way that it opened up, you can tell that is GNOME disks for sure. And it is version 3.36.3. So it's an older one, of course, because it's an LTE version, which is nice. That guarantees that you're not going to have many things disrupt your workflow. Then under graphics, they have Nomax for internet. They have Google Chrome and Discord. They have Office, which leads me to believe that they've got their own curated repository with the non-free stuff installed from like Codex and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that's in the back end and everything installed for the Debian side of it. They have calendar and no contacts under sound and video. They have Droid Cam, which is kind of cool because it allows you to turn your Android phone into a webcam. They got MPV player. They got Pulse Auto Pavu, and they have VLC already installed for system tools. You've got About, Bleach It, Boot Repair, Desktop Manager, GNOME disks. They also got Gparted installed. They have Grub Customizer. They've got HTOP. Let's go ahead and let's fire up HTOP. and see what our system resources are looking like. So let's go ahead and make that much bigger so you can see. And let's see if we can increase the text. Yes, we can. And so we're looking at a grand total of 1.37 at rest of memory with a few programs that we've opened up. And it's barely touching my processors of my 4 cores, which I've given this 4 gigs of RAM and 4 cores of my processor in this virtual machine. So it's running really, 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 really light. So I enjoy that, and I think it is wonderful and lightweight in the sense of all that it has installed and running. I mean, did you see all those extensions it has that it's running in the background? That's not too bad for what it's doing. So then you got the keyboard layout, the language installer. So, you know, they have their own tools installed as well that if you want to install those kind of things, you can do that as well. For languages, you can install more language. The main menu, of course, if you click on that, that's going to give you the actual main menu, the Gnome main menu, instead of the Arc menu. So, I mean, that's kind of cool that it does that as well. You hit escape and it closes it. You hit escape, it closes it again. So, because it's got the dark and the light theme that comes up. So, then you got your software center, which let's pop and see if that actually populated, and it did. And they have the standard run-of-the-mill software center. For updates, it says I'm up to date. If we go here, we go to update preferences. You can enable automatic update and the actual notifications for software and updates. This is probably going to be where you can adjust your repositories. Yep. So you can do your additional, you know, your PPAs. These are all the ones that they already have enabled, which are their own. They have some Ubuntu focal main enabled, so additional repositories. They've got Google, then the Makulu Linux one. And then, of course, for maintenance, you can do different things here, which is, I mean, if you've ever used this before, then you know. You already know what's up with it. These are all the apps that are installed as well. I'm not going to beat that to death because, I mean, if you've ever used the Debian or Ubuntu Synaptic Package Manager, you know what you're looking at. And then if you go, it's got screensaver, it's got P sensors already installed, which is really nice because that'll tell you temperatures of things on your, I did not open up. It'll tell you temperatures of different sensors like your CPU, GPU, all that good stuff. Well, I will look at that later as to why that didn't open up. But then again, it's my virtual machine, so it may not. It also, oh yeah, and during the setup, they asked if you wanted to enable Samba, and I did, and it installed Samba. So that is nice. And also, you got the Ubuntu mainline kernel installer as well. So you can actually install, instead of their kernel that they have, you can install their actual Ubuntu official kernels. So it's kind of like the Manjaro. If you ever used Manjaro, their kernel manager that they have, it's similar to that. And you know what? I'm going to cancel this because it's that you can switch between different kernels and install additional kernels. So under Universal Access, you have KMag and the onboard screen. And for utilities, you have disks, screenshot, archiver, the system monitor, and of course the terminal. The Gnome system monitor is actually pretty cool. I like it. And of course, as you can see, it's still pretty accurate to the H-top, what we looked at. So, I mean, I like it. And then you've got your Gnome tweaks, which is where you can customize a lot of your extensions, turn them on, off, all that good stuff right through here, which are all those extensions that you can do down here that they put in the dock. So that is pretty, or in the panel, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, it is very nicely customized. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the desktop manager, and we're going to switch to a different desktop. So we're going to launch it. So of course you can find it on the desktop. You can find it down here on the desktop manager down here. And then of course it's in their tools, but we're going to go right here. So you can do your desktop clock. You can enable it. You can set a clock color. You can do whatever you want with that. And then for the panel or / dock options, you can do IntelliHide on it, so you can make it disappear and come back. For special effects, now this is what's kind of cool. You have to upgrade now to the pro versions, but it gives you kind of the old comp is, which is enables a constructor tool, and it'll install the constructor tool to be able to change like your compiz settings to make it like a cube that rotates and all that good stuff. So they what I like is they've kind of brought back some of the old school stuff to do that. And then also your theme manager, like you can change your cursors to these kind of cursors. Then your wallpaper manager. So we're going to select a wallpaper and, well, where did it go? Oh, here they are. Dude. Look at this horse. Select the horse. Wow, the wolves. Select the horse. That's really nice. I mean, they've got some pretty awesome wallpapers. That's pretty badass right there. This one is pretty awesome. I think I'm going to rob this wallpaper folder for sure. I mean, some of these wallpapers are awesome. I mean, beyond awesome. Oh, man. They don't seem to be in HD quality, but they're pretty high res. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. And it could be, you know, also a virtual machine thing. So, oh, this hummingbird's actually, I mean, oh, this one. Oh, that is totally cool. That is totally cool. Wow. Really nice. Really, really nice. I mean, it is seriously just doing some awesome stuff. That's the variety wallpaper switcher. So let's open up the desktop manager again. And let's go to the constructor tool. This is the one where you got to click to upgrade to get the compositor to do things. And of course, you got tutorials that teaches you how to do things. Tweaks will help you do your extensions. And so now let's go ahead and actually, so we changed the wallpaper. Now let's go ahead and change the layout. So you got Lindoz, you got Flash, which is what we're on currently right now. Then you have the core, then you have Dash, you got Simple, you got Unity, you've got the regular Gnome, you've got Plasma to choose from. Those are the 8. Then they give you these other 8 with the Pro version, which, you know, I don't know. Like, I think Docky is going to be kind of cool. Pop is going to be kind of cool. 11 might be cool, which is, I think, to be designed after Windows 11. I don't know. Let's go ahead and let's go to the simple format. And so I clicked on it to select it, and it just changed it. It did not change my wallpaper whatsoever. Oh, it did change my wallpaper. So there you go. It took it just a few seconds. It ran everything in the background and did that. Look at that. Completely changed it. My wallpaper, look at the icon set changed. Everything on the panel changed, but it still kept all the like the extension manager, all that good stuff on there. So no worries about that. Let's try switching between Lindoz. So you give it a click. It's erasing everything, going back to a neutral, and transforming my desktop. Please be patient. Give it a few seconds, and there it is. Completely changed it to the Windows format. Wow, look at that. That is kind of cool. And let's go right back to the Flash one. I like the Flash one a lot. And so we're giving it a few minutes. It's transforming. It's notifying me that it's running those scripts in the background, and we're back to where we started from. That is a look at the Makulu Linux. Now, it didn't have all that desktop switching back when I tried it. It was basically just a themed desktop environment from Debian, or actually it was based on Ubuntu back then. I think they went straight to Debian from here for this one. But I don't know when they did, but anyhow, it was nowhere near as fancy or as good as this. It did not have like the gaming edition, the Max Spin. It just had the regular one single distribution version, flavor, whatever you want, community release, whatever you want to call it. But either way, Makulu Linux is definitely a very interesting and well done, well customized. It's another game-centric one. that I don't know why I'm getting all these game-centric editions sent to me here recently. I just did Nobara, I did Big Linux. I'm going to do the culmination of the Big Linux distribution comparative review. I've been running them both and looking at them, and I got a winner, clear and concise, only. So I'll present that here to you soon. But as far as Makulu Linux, it's definitely one that is a new to Linux user that's coming over to kind of be able to rice-their things with the click of a button and not have to do a bunch of configuration editing and configuration files to customize it. It's just, I'm telling you, give this one a spin, guys. This is pretty cool. I have not tried any of the gaming stuff. Like I said, it was referred to me by a subscriber. So give it a try. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and please make sure you hit that like button and that bell button when you subscribe so you get notified of any new videos. Don't forget to like and share. Also, if you get a chance, please go visit me on my Patreon page and become a supporter of the channel there. Also, if you think this video was well done and I gave you good enough information, you can smash that thanks button down below as well. Any little bit that you can give helps this channel and helps keep the lights and the doors open. So thanks for all that you guys do. Thanks for your continued support and viewership. Y'all keep doing what you do. Stay blessed and keep on Linuxing.